What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Andrew Marlowe Art. Make sure you guys hit that like button and please subscribe and hit me up on Instagram at Andrew Marlowe Artist. So in this video, I did want to just briefly discuss the concept of the artist's curse. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the YouTube art channel, mostly oil painting and stuff, called Draw Mix Paint, which is run by a great artist named Mark Carter. But he actually talks about this concept called the artist's curse. And I kind of wanted to just sort of open up the dialogue about the artist's curse. Is it real? Is it a real thing? Do I suffer from it? Maybe do you other artists out there suffer from it? Now, I do think that you guys, maybe I'll try to link one of the videos, but if you just type in like Draw Mix Paint, the artist's curse or something, you'll see dozens of videos about it. And it's a concept that was sort of introduced or that Mark Carter came up with himself, which basically states that your first enthusiasm, your first initial, inspiration that you get when you start a painting, or when you see a photograph that you want to copy or make into a painting, or when you see a landscape in real life, or when you see a model, or just any artistic concept in terms of painting or sculpture or anything for that matter, is you will never feel that exact same amount of inspiration as you did at that initial moment before you actually started it. So the artist's curse, essentially, according to Mark Carter, from what I understand, actually starts the minute that you start working on it. And I am going to sort of talk in defense of the artist's curse because I do suffer myself with the artist's curse. I mean, we've all been there. We see this amazing photograph, or we see this amazing model or something, or this amazing still life or landscape, or just amazing concept in our minds, or our imagination that we want to create on canvas or something. But when we actually start working on it, all the fun just kind of goes to a screeching halt. Or the first initial stages, maybe the sketching part is really fun, or the first paint layer is really fun, but after that it really becomes work, and sort of the initial inspiration, that spark of sort of divine universal energy that you get with being an artist. If you guys are artists, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But you'll never exactly have that same amount of enthusiasm as you do before you start, or in the initial stages of creating. Now, there are ways around that. You have to just, every painting session or every art session, drawing session, whatever it is you're working on, you do have to keep that inspiration going. That's how you finish a painting. You're never gonna feel 100% amazing about every single painting from point A to point Z. You know what I mean? You've really got to keep the vibe going. That's why it's so important to, take breaks, but also don't take too long of breaks, because when you come back to it, you're just going to be kind of... But I do think the artist's curse is real, because you'll never exactly have that bolt of inspiration, that bolt of energy that you do before you start. But that's not to say that you can't, maintain that artistic inspiration throughout the process. Sorry, my face is itching. But you just have to keep in mind that the artist's curse is a real thing. Now, for me, it tends to sort of hit me pretty much right when I start painting. I mean, I'm really enjoying all the stages. I'm really enjoying the block-in stages. I'm really enjoying the sketching stages. I'm enjoying the layering. I'm enjoying sort of, watching the painting come to life. So it's not to say that the artist's curse is all bad, but the artist's curse is, it's sort of throws you against the artistic wall, so to speak, and makes you realize that, yes, you've got a lot of work to do if you want to sort of rationalize or conceptualize this beautiful painting that you have in your mind. So the artist's curse is basically just a default of, basically the hard work that's ahead of you as an artist. But I think it's much deeper than that, because you have to sort of rationalize in your mind that you have to really keep that inspiration. It's almost like having a heavy backpack and you're walking up a mountain, but you need all the supplies in your backpack, but you're getting kind of tired, and you're like, oh, this backpack is heavy, it's hurting my shoulders, I just want to leave this backpack down, maybe I don't need all this, maybe I can just rush to the top of the mountain without my supplies. But no, you can't do that. So speaking artistically, it's a metaphor for that. It's like you have to really take your time, you have to really be patient, you have to really just block in all your colors. You're not going to see a beautiful painting right off the bat. You're not going to, just sit down an hour or two and create this magnificent painting. It just doesn't work like that. So you have to maintain that inspiration. You have to keep that inspiration in your artistic backpack, so to speak, and just keep walking and keep trudging along and keep just climbing and sweating and working and driving, and eventually when the painting is done, you'll be so glad that you held on to that inspiration. But if you like only work a painting for 1 or 2 or 3 sessions, you're like, oh, I'm so tired of this, the inspiration is gone, I'm tired of this, I'm going to move on to the next one. You're going to think for a second that your next painting is going to be better or something, or that you're going to have more inspiration, but 9 times out of 10 you're going to hit that new creative process, that new painting, that new drawing, and you're going to hit that same exact wall, which is the artist's curse. Then you'll have 50 different art productions going on, and you'll never finish any of them because you don't know how to defeat the artist's curse. Now, Mark Carter's conceptualization of the artist's curse is slightly different than mine. But he kind of takes you through the steps of what is the artist's curse, why is it, why do artists suffer from the artist's curse. So I just sort of wanted to jump in that sort of discussion. Not that I'm saying I'm trying to put words in his mouth or I know exactly what he's talking about, but I do think it makes sense. The artist's curse is real. You have to really maintain that inspiration from the beginning of the process and withhold it and hold on to it for dear life until you finally finish the painting. There's so many times where a painting is kind of going like this, it's going really good, and then you hit a plateau and you're bored, all the inspiration's gone, and maybe you overworked it, or you're just not 100% into it, so you're kind of just going through the motions and this and that, so your painting kind of goes like this, and you got to take it back up like that. That happened with my most recent painting, the one that I just uploaded on Instagram. This huge canvas of this beautiful woman, there was nothing to not be inspired by, obviously, but the artistic personality, we're sort of like very ADD to a point where our attention span is not really that great, but at the same time it is really great because we can, sit for hours and hours and days and weeks and years and work on paintings, but sometimes our attention is like, we always think the grass is greener. It's like those people that jump from one relationship to the next because they always think there's something better out there. But it's like you get desensitized to the artistic process, and you always want to start something new. You always want to start something fresh. But sure enough, you're always going to hit that little plateau, that flat line stage, so to speak, where everything just kind of is like, I'm not really feeling this. I just want to move on to the next production. But you can't do that. You've got to stick with what you originally started with. You've got to study the reference photos, study your model, study your landscape, whatever it is that you're working on, and just really imagine how amazing, how awesome this painting is going to be if you can just stick with it. So anyway, I don't want to keep rambling about the artist's curse, but yes, the artist's curse is real. You guys should go to the Draw Mix Paint Mark Carter channel. And by the way, that's Carder, not Carter. That was really confusing for me, but it's Carter, like a card, not Carter, like Aaron Carter, but Carter. Anyway, I'm rambling, but anyway, make sure you guys go check out the videos. See if you guys can make sense of the artist's curse, and let me know what you guys think about my perception of the artist's curse. I know I suffer from it. Let me know in the comment section if you guys suffer from it, and we'll see you guys in the next video.